Hold up.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today on my channel. Today we are back with our F1 2016 Career Mode Season 3, Part 18 here for the USA Grand Prix with Red Bull Racing. Now, first of all, if you do enjoy the video, drop a like on it, that'd be absolutely awesome. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. And don't forget that Season 4, you guys can vote in the description and in the comments. I'll leave a link for it for you guys to vote which team you prefer to see me drive for in Season 4. Now, that's all the way. Of course, I am recording this video after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has finished. And if you have not watched the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and you do not know who the title has gone for, I recommend that you click away from this video up until the Grand Prix so you guys don't get spoiled if you haven't watched it, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't watched it. But as we know, Nico Rosberg is now a brand new Formula 1 World Drivers' Champion. He claimed second place in today's thrilling Grand Prix and takes home the title for the 33rd Drivers' Champion in Formula 1. So, of course, the discussion is now, does Nico Rosberg deserve the title? And was Lewis Hamilton's tactics in the Grand Prix fair enough? Now, I may do a separate video discussing the World Drivers' Championship, or I may just leave it for the comments section on this video. But for me, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was a thrilling race, and I really enjoyed watching it, with Hamilton taking the win ahead of Rosberg, with Vettel and Verstappen all coming through to take their respective positions. A lot of people have been discussing, you know, does Rosberg deserve it? At the end of the day, it's a 21 race season and he got the most points, so technically yes. Hamilton had a lot of unreliability compared to Rosberg throughout the season, but Rosberg was consistent and he did what he needed to do. Was Hamilton's tactics of backing Nico Rosberg up into the pack, was it rude? And was it disrespectful to disobey the team orders? From where I'm standing, no, it wasn't. It was it's racing, for God's sake. Like, a lot of people have been telling me, like, Hamilton should be sacked and it's pathetic. It's like, no. Hamilton has done something that it's actually really hard to back a driver up into the pack. It sounds weird. All you've got to do is drive slow, but then, of course, the other driver can literally speed past you and overtake. But at the end of the day, look, Rosberg did what he had to do. Hamilton was fair sportsman about it. He said, look, Rosberg's gone and won it. You can't win them all. End of story. So from where I'm sitting, you know, as a Hamilton fan, am I disappointed that Hamilton hasn't won the title? Not really, because what else could he have done? There was nothing Hamilton could have done. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of the race? And would you like me to do a separate video discussing the entire Grand Prix? I don't know how I would set it up, but we'll find out. But anyway, into qualifying then for my Grand Prix for my career modes and my season here in F1 2016. We qualified on the yellow mark soft tyres for Q1. Into Q2, on my initial run, it actually started raining pretty heavily, and that caused me to set a slow lap time, but it was enough to get me into Q3 as I qualified in 7th, and no real dramas in terms of anyone going out, apart from Jolyon Palmer got into Q3 for Renault, so big achievement for Palmer. And into Q3 we go now. You can see that his intermediate conditions pretty much scraping onto full wet conditions here. And you can see me sliding all over the circuit here, trying to find as much grip as I possibly can in these difficult conditions to come across the line. And we're going to go and set, I believe that's the fastest lap. And that is going to give us pole position for the USA Grand Prix. Of course, Daniel Ricciardo is on a 3-race winning streak. He's on a mad streak at the moment in Formula 1, and he's really putting me to shame at the moment. And it's time that I fought back and claimed a bit of glory away from Ricciardo. So by getting pole position, that has definitely helped me out and brings the advantage back to me, ready for this USA Grand Prix. And it's going to be pretty exciting to see how this race pans out. But as you can see, we're just going to be loading now, which is going to show us the race objectives and all of that jazz. And then we'll get on with the Grand Prix. I left this loading screen in if you think it's a bit weird, just so I can have a bit more time to just chat, really, at the start of the Grand Prix. But as you can see then, Daniel Ricciardo goes through and wins that rivalry. Of course, he was much, much quicker. But I don't know how he got the fastest first, second, and third sector, but not the fastest lap. I tried to look at that, but I just don't understand how he got the quickest first, second, and middle sector, yet somehow I got the fastest lap, so that was a bit weird. But anyway, guys, that's enough about qualifying and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. You can let me know in the comments about that. Let's get into the race.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up.
It's Red Bull in pole position then, and P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Rosberg, Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton, and Vettel, Bottas, Perez, Gutierrez, and Jolyon Palmer, Grosjean, Kvyat, Nico Hülkenberg, and Alonso, Magnussen, Sainz, Felipe Massa, and Jenson Button, Nasser and Ericsson, Rio Haryanto, and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see here for this USA Grand Prix on pole position, we're going to be starting on the red mark super soft tyres, and then we're going to be going to the yellow mark soft tyres, and we're going to be taking those to the end of the race here for what should be a pretty good Grand Prix, I'm hoping for myself here. Of course, the last two races in Malaysia and Japan are some of my weakest circuits on the calendar. We got those out of the way, and now the circuit to America is definitely one of my favourites to drive around. So let's see what we can do here. As you can see, we're on the grids. We have now, coming up, we have got 5 red lights here for the United States Grand Prix, and it is lights out, and away we go for this US Grand Prix. And it's actually a good start from us. It's a bad start from Daniel Ricciardo, with my teammate and the other Red Bull driver not getting the best of getaways here. Rosberg's going to go around the inside, around the outside, sorry, of Ricciardo, but he's not making it stick, and we've got yellow flags behind us, and some contact has been made further back. You can see the gap is already there. Yellow flags, a lot of drivers have been caught up in this, and we've got a virtual safety car, and the race has been neutralized, and straight away I put the car into lean fuel mixture to save myself some fuel, but contact at the start of the first lap. Let's go find out what actually happens. As you can see here, the race got underway, and it was Ricciardo that didn't get the best of starts in his Red Bull, and that allowed Nico Rosberg to come flying through around the outside into turn 1, and then Ricciardo tried to make his way back, and then it's Rosberg that's gone spinning around, so Nico Rosberg got taken out there by the Ferrari. Let's go right on board with Rosberg. So as you can see, he's following me into turn 1. Ricciardo is on the inside. Rosberg turns in, then just turns out, and then comes back in again. I don't know what Rosberg's doing. And then he hits Hamilton, and Hamilton's lost some of his front wing in that, and so has Rosberg as well. So that's a weird one. So let's ride on board with Hamilton here. Now Hamilton, as you can see, is actually on the soft tyres. So he's doing a different strategy at this point. Racing now down towards turn 1. Let's see if Ricciardo tapped Rosberg, because Rosberg just turned away. Oh, it's hard to see from that camera angle there, but Rosberg just spins around, and then he collects Lewis Hamilton, and they both make contact, and their front wings are gone. Let's look at more with Ricciardo. I don't know, did Ricciardo tap Rosberg into turn 1 to cause Rosberg to just turn out wide on himself? Let's have a look here. No, he doesn't. Rosberg's got the position covered, and then he just turns out of the corner. That's a really weird one. Now, as you can see, we are now back onto lap 1. The virtual safety car is ending, and as you can see there, I did the virtual safety car tactic, whereby as soon as it says that the virtual safety car is ending, you've got 15 seconds when you go below the delta time to reduce your racing speed back to the normal delta. However, when it says that the virtual safety car is ending, it is a lot less than 15 seconds until the race resumes to full speed. So you can literally just go faster than the delta time and gain yourself some crucial time, which is exactly what I did. Round the final corner we come for what was a very strange first lap here at the United States Grand Prix, but all is well for myself here in America. Moving on to lap 4 of the Grand Prix, you can see that we are now getting a nice comfortable advantage in front of Ricciardo and Raikkonen, who have been squabbling a bit behind. And now we're coming towards our pit stop lap, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to be coming in for what is our first pit stop here, and Ricciardo is going to stay out, and I believe Raikkonen stays out as well. So I'm going to be one of the early drivers to come in for their pit stop, and this is going to be pretty interesting to see where I can come out. Now, there was a lot of traffic that I saw on the mini-map, so if I get out in front of that, that's going to be crucial, but if I can't, then it's going to be very difficult for me to try and win this Grand Prix. So let's see where we come out now in front of everyone. You can see that's Valtteri Bottas going through. I believe that's a couple of other drivers. There's the big traffic there. Kevin Magnussen is the lead of the traffic, and we've just gotten out in front of the big chaotic traffic of Kevin Magnussen, which is followed by a Toro Rosso and a Williams, and there was loads of other drivers in that. Look at the mini-map there down in the bottom left. You can see how many people are in that traffic jam. Moving on then to lap 7 of the Grand Prix. Now, I managed to stay out in front of Daniel Ricciardo, which I was really happy about. Now we're catching up to Valtteri Bottas and the Williams driver, who's on a set of the soft tyres, and this is crucial. If Bottas starts holding me up, then that could bring Ricciardo right into play for this Grand Prix. So I need to get past Bottas as soon as I possibly can and try and see if we can do something to just basically try and get a little bit of a buffer between myself and Ricciardo, because Daniel was closing in on me at this point. So I wanted to see if I could get a bit of a buffer. So we've got the DRS activated here against Valtteri Bottas. We're going to move over to the inside line, but we don't even need to take the inside line. We can go back onto the racing line because we have just gone flying past Valtteri Bottas in the Williams. And there we go, through into first place again in this Grand Prix. And now I'm hoping that Bottas can stay in front of Daniel Ricciardo and give him a little bit of pain, and I can get the chance to pull away then. But of course, we know how quick Ricciardo is. On to lap 9 now of the Grand Prix. Now, as you can see here, we're coming through the S section, but unfortunately, I actually completely ran wide here, and this is going to affect my entire first part of this sector. You can see how I'm just trying to recover, but it's not going to come back to me here, and this has put Daniel Ricciardo in a very strong position to have a go at us here down into the back straight. So I did have a small gap over Ricciardo, but that S-section problem with the understeer in the car has given Ricciardo a glorious chance to come and fight us here for this US Grand Prix. So as you can see here, I put the car into rich fuel mixture, and I'm going to move over to the left-hand side of the circuit and allow Daniel Ricciardo to take the racing line. But as you can see here, Ricciardo with the DRS wide open. But however, Ricciardo is not close enough to take this position. I can pull back into the racing line here, and Daniel doesn't get the position, and I maintain the lead of the Grand Prix. But Ricciardo is right in this fight here, and of course, with us being title contenders, it is all up for grabs here, and Daniel definitely needs this Grand Prix win, as he is set to try and close the gap down even more against between me and him in this championship. Now, as you can see, Pascal Wehrlein is out of the Grand Prix, so bad luck for Pascal Wehrlein, and we're going to find out why here. So coming up the top of the hill here as they come now, making the charge down the hill at the end of the first sector, Pascal's engine unfortunately blows up, and the unreliability from Mercedes' engines, as we know from Lewis Hamilton in real life, has come back and bitten Pascal Wehrlein, and unfortunately, that's his race over with. Onto the resuming the action basically. Second to last corner, we run on the curb, getting a little bit of the back ends coming out on us there. Now into the final corner we go, and Daniel is still there. He's really right on us at this moment. But however, I've got fantastic traction out of the final corner. Ricciardo has got DRS, but I'm going to pull over to the racing line. Ricciardo tries the inside line. I'm going to cover it off slightly, and as we traditionally do, we whack over some bollards because I quite frankly hate them. Now, as you can see here, we're into the first sector of the lap now, and Ricciardo is still there fighting, coming through the one part of the section here. Again, look, I've run a little bit wide, and Ricciardo closing in ever so slightly here as we break now, coming in, and Ricciardo coming through, and he actually taps me there. Ricciardo making contact with myself, and I'm having to fend off Ricciardo here as he tried to sneak it down the inside. There just wasn't enough space, and Ricciardo has gone and hit me, and that's going to really annoy Christian Horner. But you can see Ricciardo is still there, giving it absolutely everything as we come now, as there's Pascal Wehrlein as a ghost mode at the end of the circuit. But as you can see, it is now the hairpin, and it is DRS time. Ricciardo this time is going to pull into my slipstream. Now, as you can see, we're coming down the back straight as we go. Ricciardo's DRS is wide open. Will Daniel trying to find a new place to overtake? He's going to go for it here. He's going to have a look, but he's again not close enough to get past me here. And Daniel Ricciardo has failed to get past me again on the back straight. So the DRS is not quite as effective as I thought it would be, and Daniel is not able to pass me. So at the moment, I've covered off Ricciardo, but has that contact done anything to Daniel? Because of course he went straight into the back of me. Onto lap 12 of the Grand Prix, you can see it has. Daniel has fallen off at a vast rate of knots here, and in fact Kimi Räikkönen is now all over the back of him. You can see I'm looking from the rear wing because Ricciardo has fallen off the pace here, and that's exactly what's happened. This is a live onboard now from Daniel Ricciardo's point of view, and something has gone wrong after he made contact with me, and it's now affecting him. Luckily, it's not affecting me. Räikkönen goes to the inside line here with the DRS open. You can see me just in front. There I am going into the hairpin, and Räikkönen flies past Daniel Ricciardo, and that is going to really get on Daniel Ricciardo's nerves. But something's gone wrong with Ricciardo. However, onto lap 14 of the Grand Prix, we are coming through the second to last corner. It's been a very long time since I've won a Grand Prix. The last time I won a race, I believe, was the Italian Grand Prix. And that was a long time ago. So as you can see, we come through and we take the checkered flag here at the United States Grand Prix. What a great victory for us. We had a very, very difficult race indeed. Daniel was definitely fast in the first stint. In the second stint on the soft tyres. Daniel was definitely a lot faster. However, he just didn't quite make that move stick, and unfortunately it's gone and just bit him in the back basically. As you can see, coming through this S section now, with Christian Horner. He seems happy there, but I'm pretty sure he's probably going to go and have a word with Daniel because I had that inside line covered. There was no way Daniel was going to get that move done. I already had a car's width there. He tried something ambitious. It just didn't pay off. And at the end of the day, it not only cost Daniel probably maybe some front wing damage or some other bit of the car damage, but it cost him second place in this Grand Prix. So it's damaged Daniel really more than it has damaged me. But as you can see, we're back on the top step of the podium. It's been a long time, and I kind of missed the podium, to be honest. It's a bit sad, you know. I haven't been here for a while. So there we are, claiming the trophy, and all is well for us here. And we've got the champagne flying here as Ricciardo wins this race. I'm going to take second place, and Raikkonen comes home and takes third. So great result for the team overall, and we are still pulling away from Mercedes in the constructors standings, which is exactly what we need to be doing. So what a good race for us. As you can see, there is the full classification. It is Red Bull from Ferrari, with Hamilton finishing in 5th and Nico Rosberg not scoring any points. So unfortunately, the luck is not with Rosberg in F1 2016, but in real life it definitely is with Nico Rosberg in terms of the championship. But in terms of this championship, the gap has now increased between me and Daniel Ricciardo, I believe, to 59 points or 49 points in the championship now. So we're definitely starting to pull away from Daniel as we look to try and gain some more points and try and wrap up the Drivers' Championship. But as you can see in the Constructors' standings, we are now in front of Mercedes by a good margin, and all is well for us. So guys, that is it for the USA Grand Prix. If you guys did enjoy it, drop a like on it, let me know what you thought of it, and also subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel yet. And if you'd like to have a discussion with me, I'll be checking the comment section down below throughout the rest of the evening. I want to see your thoughts on the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I'd like to see what you thought of it, and Nico Rosberg as the new Drivers' World Champion. But until then guys, I'll see you for the Mexican Grand Prix. Take care. Peace.